Britain's rental market is at breaking point.
Give me home, please.
With not enough homes to go round, soaring rents,
Oh my God.
squalid, overcrowded conditions,
Little swines.
spiralling property fraud.
They're crooks, they're running a scam.
When am I going to get my money?
Bedsits to mansions,
We're just trying to see when you're leaving our property. Carnage, utter carnage.
squats to drug farms.
It's a frigging full room. Hang on a minute, lads, who are you? I've got a situation. I need police assistance.
This is Nightmare Tenants Slum Landlords.
We've scheduled an inspection on the property this afternoon. Because we've got a bit of arrears, we're a bit unsure about the whereabouts of the tenant.
Letting agent Paul Ainsworth-Lord has over 800 properties on his books in one of Britain's most deprived areas, which means every so often he's faced with difficult tenants.
We're not really sure what the state of play is, so it's a bit of a fact-finding mission as well as an inspection.
Today, Paul is chasing one of his tenants, Lee Cox, who hasn't paid his rent for 4 months.
We've been trying to get hold of Lee for a good while. Someone's changed the lock. Tenants, when they go quiet, there's a few alarm bells ring. I'll just get my step ladders to go out and back.
Fearing Lee may have abandoned the property, Paul decides to check out the rear garden.
Because we've got a changed lock on the front door, quite often they don't change the back door. So, a good old telescopic ladder's come in handy on this job. The dogs. This is the tricky bit. Looks like they might have green fingers who live here. I don't like what I'm seeing, actually. Change the back door lock and all. This is the polythene that they use for growing. It reflects all light. There's dozens of these tubs and loads of fans. Obviously growing cannabis.
Paul came here chasing up missing rent. Instead, it appears he may have stumbled upon a drugs farm.
I'm going to come back tomorrow and we'll get one of the maintenance guys to drill the locks out. And if my gut instinct's right, we're going to catch somebody in the act of growing cannabis here.
Many areas have missed out on Britain's property boom. This gives small buy-to-let landlords the chance to snap up cheap rentals. But these properties may be a long way from home.
As landlords, you know you take a chance, but you continually think if you offer a good property and treat them well, they will also treat you well.
Stuart Haynes and Steve Hill are builders from Oxfordshire who let out a number of properties across the country. 18 months ago, they rented out their one-bedroom Cardiff flat.
4 months into the tenancy, the payments just suddenly stopped. We couldn't get hold of her, she wouldn't return any calls, letters, and then that was where the big warning signals came out. The tenant is a real problem lady.
having received no rent in 10 months and down over £5,000, the pair had been granted a possession order by the courts, giving the tenant 6 days to leave. Today, Stuart and Steve are here to serve her the order, but first they want to speak to the neighbour about alleged antisocial behaviour.
Have you had any sort of confrontations with her? Have you just kept out of her way?
No, continuous since I've been here. She gets up 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, kicking the doors and...
Without provocation?
No, she's
just
effing
starts
and
kicking.
being and seeing, shouting and screaming.
Really? Yeah, we heard...
And you just couldn't talk to her. She's just a bad human being. So,
Really?
Yeah,
I must apologise for that.
Oh, don't worry about it.
No, I know, but you don't.
You know?
I think, how would I feel if I was to live there and listen to all that? I'd hate it. You feel really guilty, even though it's not your fault, you feel really responsible.
The police do it at least 10 or 15 times.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Now we've got a court order for her to be evicted from the property. It's going to take a little bit of time, but
Fine, as long as it's in motion, it's great.
It's in motion and it will come to an end soon.
That'll be fantastic. Nice to have a bit of peace.
10 days later, the possession order has expired.
Come on then, mate. Let's go and have a look, see if she's in.
I don't want any trouble today, Pop.
No.
So Stuart and Steve have returned to see if the tenant has moved out.
Hiya.
Is your landlord, Stuart? Can you have a chat with us?
Yeah, I know.
Well, can we have face-to-face, please?
Mom, did you got an appointment?
As a landlord, all we're trying to do is just find out when you'd be leaving.
Property back, and I told you you can have it tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
We just thought there's no way she'll be gone. The only way she will be gone out of that property is when people turn up there to evict her on the day.
All we'd like to do is just have a nice talk, you know, just to make sure that it's worth us coming back.
Yeah, come back tomorrow. Fuck off now. I told you come here tomorrow and I'll be gone. That's what you came here for. Now go away. Leave me alone. It's illegal. You're harassing.
I'm not harassing you. Isn't it illegal that you don't pay your rent? We're just trying to see when you're leaving our property.
She was supposed to have gone Wednesday through the courts, but she didn't go. So it's only because we turned up today she's promising this. I think she's quite happy everybody wasting their time on her. And yeah, I don't believe she'll be gone at all.
If the antisocial tenant continues to refuse to leave, Stuart and Steve will have to call in the bailiffs.
Just in case we have a problem with these dogs, we've got some chicken fillets. So if they do give me any aggravation, I can treat them.
Letting agent Paul Ainsworth-Lord is returning to a property where the tenant hasn't been paying the rent.
As soon as we open the door, I'll chuck them a bit of chicken, and hopefully they'll be interested in the chicken instead of my leg.
It isn't just the two large dogs that Paul's worried about. Yesterday, he saw evidence of a drugs farm.
I've called one of the lads to come and drill the lock out so we can put the crate locks back on. It took us 30 minutes, half an hour to drill the locks out. There were special locks that were on this door. They'd been changed to hardened steel barrels. In fact, I was dead certain that we were about to encounter some sort of cannabis growing activity, yeah. be too good to be given to a dog. Right. Hey. Come on. Hello. What are you doing, guys? Come on. Come on. Come on. What's to do? There you go. Oh. God, just nick my finger.
The tenant may be AWOL, but the property is clearly still occupied and being used for more than just somewhere to sleep.
These are like hydroponic trays. There's definitely either a supplier of kit or there's something going on here. I knew that we hadn't got to the bottom of this. I knew there was a grow in this house. I thought there must be.
These two here, these should have been in the bottom of this side. So what they've done is put it directly into the fuse, so it's bypassing this completely.
So they're robbing electric, are they?
Yeah, completely.
Couple of snooker balls in a sock. I thought, oh my God, just as well nobody's home. Could have been a different story. You could have grabbed a sock with a snooker ball and you just lash out, and next thing, you know, blue lights and ambulances. British champion. Men's English Thai boxing champion. This guy can clearly handle himself. The whole thing's just a bit weird, really. Oh yeah, here we go. This is where it's all happening.
What are you doing in my house?
Hang on a minute, lad, who are you?
It turns out the house isn't empty.
Who are you?
A man's been hiding in one of the bedrooms, and it's not the tenant, Lee Cox.
Where's he gone? I just don't believe what just happened then. There was no sign of life 1 minute, and the next minute, all hell breaks out.
The fleeing man lets the dogs loose.
Why have you done that?
So, a female neighbour arrives to assist.
Can I please? I've got a situation at 7 Onion Street. I need some police assistance.
Can I get the leads for the dogs, please?
Because of all the comings and goings outside, I need to make sure we've got possession of the house. Just need to have a look upstairs.
One possible reason the man scarpered soon becomes clear.
Oh, my neck. In terms of how well constructed this is, I'm quite impressed with, you know, it's clean, tidy, neat. Everything's, well, neat. The whole thing, it's like a professional outfit. This is like the filter. Quite impressive, really. It's got a complete irrigation system going on here. It's full submersible pump. It's a very healthy crop. I mean, like, all beautiful and green. It's just a shame it's what it is. A bit like some weird salad. You know when you've been to some fancy place and they give you some fancy salad and you think, what's that meant to be? A bit like that kind of smell. This is the very reason this house has been secured up. The anti-vandal security barrels on the front and back door of this house. You know, a lot of thought gone into this. You know, it's like, this is all black market money.
This is clearly a drugs farm, but the whereabouts of the official tenant and his unpaid rent is still a mystery.
If I saw her, I really don't know how to react. Do you think she'll be in, Stu?
I hope not, but I think she will be.
2 months have passed since landlord Stephen Stewart won a possession order against a non-paying tenant. She should have left by now.
So we had the letting agent go round and check for us, and they said she was still there.
Stewart and Steve have called in a bailiff who's due to kick her out today. They're being assisted by eviction expert Paul Champlainer.
We've now got an eviction in about 20 minutes' time.
and we're meeting the bailiffs and the locksmiths and obviously the clients. You never know what to expect. I don't know how she's going to react when we are going to forcibly gain possession. So I don't know whether she's there. She was here in the last visit. After you. This is the door, yeah? You're back.
I have got keys if we need to try them.
Yep.
Hopefully, yes.
It appears that the locks have been changed, isn't it? So we need to get the locksmith ready to do his thing.
We tried to reason with her. We tried everything to move her out nicely. We've now been forced into having all these people with us. You know, there's 5 grown men going knocking on this door.
Well done. Thank you. Well done. Good stuff. Hello. Oh my God. I can't believe what I'm seeing here, chaps. This is
Horrendous. I've only walked one pace.
I know.
For God's sake.
How can someone live like this?
Carnage. Utter carnage. She hasn't actually been in this property a year.
I am fucking gobsmacked at what this is like. Absolutely gobsmacked.
Felt very personal because she knows that we're landlords. She knows it's not her property. She's deliberately destroying that property. Deliberately. Where do we start then, Stu? Where do we start?
Get about 5 skips here. They've even put a hammer to the bloody tiles.
She smashed that up. Look at that. She smashed all that up. Look at that. The
Wow,
sink.
she's burning as well, isn't she? Burning stuff in here.
Look at the sink. Oh my God. This is so messed up, isn't it?
It's beyond words. I'm actually speechless now. I'm speechless. I've gone past being angry at you.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm with you. Speechless is the word. Just decided to have a smashing campaign. Let's get everything.
With the hammer, that's what the hammer's for.
It's so much worse than I thought.
This case went way beyond just rent arrears and non-payment of rent. This went deeper with regard to an individual that clearly had completely and utterly trashed a property. Look at this graffiti on the wall here. That's so tragic, isn't it?
How can this person live in this property? It was a small brown leather sofa, and we believe that was her bed. That was everything where she lived.
It's so hard actually to put into words. It really is to describe what kind of person she is, you know? I just finding it so difficult because we all sort of live in a nice, clean lifestyle, don't we? We all live in nice, clean houses, blah, blah, blah. Then you come to this and you think, why has he decided to behave like this?
You're builders, you do this often. How much is this going to cost you to relet?
I was thinking 10. Is it 10, 15, Stu?
I wouldn't be surprised with new bathroom suite, new kitchen,
But then what
complete redecoration, carpeting.
10, 15 grand.
Easy.
And this is the reality.
On top of the 5, 6
Rent
legal
arrears,
fees.
legal fees, locksmith fees.
You're in for 25k.
Just goes on and on.
This is the notice of eviction that took place today. To make it clear to everyone, especially the tenant, that when she comes back here, she knows that possession has been taken. She can see the date. She could come back to the property. She could try and break in. Who knows?
The state of the property means it's hard to know if the tenant has left or is simply out. So Paul tracks down a neighbour.
So when did you last see her?
Well, she was definitely there this morning because I could hear her, you know, ebbing and blinding like she normally does. I heard crashing and banging, things being thrown.
She was smashing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think she looked like she was going and leaving? Did she have anything with her? Like,
No.
Nobody was picking her up.
Nope. She hasn't taken any belongings or anything. She just went out with nothing.
Yep. I can't imagine her just leaving everything, could you?
No, the problem is she may not have understood that the eviction's taking place. That's her worry. I think that she will come back, from what you're telling me, because she's got no belongings. There's some sentimental stuff there, so because she's unstable, I think that this is not the end of the case.
You think, why am I a landlord? Why do I put myself through that?
One of them was hiding in the house and has just come out.
Letting agent Paul Ainsworth-Lord has just found a cannabis farm in a property he manages. Now the police have arrived. And so has an unannounced visitor.
Excuse me. Where's all his fucking claws?
A man Paul believes is the tenant's son has fled the scene. But there's no sign of the tenant himself.
Absolutely take a fucking piss. What the fuck has gone on here?
That last there, she's tipped up, wanting to get some belongings for the guy that was hiding in the front bedroom here. Where's your...
Absolutely fuck all to do with you as well.
Well, it is something to do with us.
Well, it's really not, is it?
Well, it is, because he rents an house and he's got arrears and he's changed up locks, we couldn't get in, he's ignoring us, so where is he? You can't take over a house that you rent and then be growing a load of stuff in the attic. You know, it's just taking mick.
Well, talk like your fucking ass.
Bring your voice down and we'll talk.
Well, would you not be angry?
We'll talk. Come in here and we'll have a chat. Are you going to continue like that?
No, I'm not. I just need to calm down so angry.
You do need to calm down. Trust me, you do need to calm down. Yeah? Just stand to one side just in case she comes out like a banshee.
It's a bit all of a tiswas right now. Just trying to keep a track of what's going on myself.
Paul gets a call from the office.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting that today.
Which appears to shed light on the whereabouts of the tenant, who hasn't paid rent in 4 months.
This house is rented to Lee Cox, and rumour has it he's in the nick. He's been banged up. Do you know when he'll be back roughly?
I do not know, and like I said, that's got nothing to do with you. And soon you'll be finding out, won't you, obviously?
Well, it is to do with us, because he's a tenant here, isn't he?
Right, anyway, got the keys, all I will say.
Right.
Bye! See you later!
It's been confirmed Lee Cox is in prison, serving time for ABH. So it's possible he had nothing to do with the weed farm. Now Paul and the landlord have to decide what to do next with the property.
My job to my landlord, to our clients, is to protect their assets. I really need to get a grip of what's happening here. This could be a mess.
The bank of mum and dad is used by many to get on the property ladder. So much so that some parents are starting early, buying a home for their children and renting it out in the meantime.
The gentleman seemed well-spoken, polite, good background, good salary. So there was no suspicion of anything.
3 years ago, Jean-Pierre Barakat and his wife Angela bought this North London flat as a future home for their son, who has autism.
He's 14 at the moment and he goes to school nearby. It's a special needs school.
It's a lovely studio flat, which hopefully, when he goes out to the world, he'll be able to take over the mortgage, and this is going to give me his independence.
But for the last 7 months, their tenant Daniel hasn't been paying rent.
Emotionally, it's draining. Our nerves are shredded, myself and my wife's. And, you know, our son can feel it. You know, he's autistic, but he can feel that his parents are anxious, and it's taken over our lives, to be honest with you.
Owed more than £7,000 and struggling financially, The couple have called eviction expert Paul Champlina to serve their tenant with a court order to leave.
So should we go and have a knock and see if we can get him out of bed? Okay. Hi, Daniel. Hi, it's Paul. I'm from Landlord Action. Do you want to come to the door? Oh, you alright? How's it going? That's the court order.
Take the camera away.
Pardon?
You have to take the camera.
We want to know when you're going to leave. That's why I'm here. We can talk through the door if you want, Daniel. It's not a problem. So the situation is we now need to apply for High Court bailiffs. It's on the order, yeah? Okay? So that was basically the messaging today, because obviously you haven't left the property.
If you want to come in and talk about tenants, you're welcome to. Do you want to come in and talk?
Yeah, of course, sir. Of course, sir. No problem. No problem at all. No problem at all. No problem. No problem. No problem.
He's got no intention of leaving this flat. He's trying to draw this out as long as it can be.
I will speak to you.
Yeah.
I will speak to you. I've got your number. I will speak to you. So you're saying by next Friday you'll be out of here, because otherwise I'll come back. All right. Thank you. Sorry for waking you up. Bye. Okay. So, good old chat with him. He has said that he will leave by next Friday, which will be a great result. I said 24 to 48 hours. He said that's too soon, but he said next Friday he guarantees that he will be out of this property. My gut feeling is I think he's telling the truth. So if we can get the property back next Friday, wait a week, it's going to save you £1,100 with the High Court sheriffs. So that'll be a result.
I was very apprehensive. I didn't believe one word he said. Just sounds to me like he's doing the same with you.
You think he's playing me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, with all due respect, you've obviously had a lot more experience than I have. You get a feel for these things.
Yeah.
But I'm a cynic, you know. I kind of expect the worst.
Jean-Pierre and Angela now face an anxious wait to see if the non-paying tenant will leave.
We couldn't buy the property outright. We have to take a mortgage and it has to be paid. It was such a difficult time. And the stress has been horrendous.
I think I'd be lying if I was to say there's a little bit of something going on in the back of my head saying, are you sure this is going to be okay?
Over a month ago, letting agent Paul Ainsworth-Lord discovered a marijuana farm at a property he manages on behalf of a landlord. The tenant, Lee Cox, was in prison at the time, so the police don't know who was responsible.
I'm a bit worried about going up to Lee's house. He can definitely handle himself.
Lee has just been released, and today Paul is meeting him to discuss whether he'll be able to stay in the house.
You know, in my job, you've got to manage these things holistically, because, you know, I don't know when I might bump into this guy again. It could be next Sunday when we're out with the children, with the kids, you know, and the last thing you want is some confrontation.
Lee, a former British kickboxing champion, owes 6 months' rent.
All sorts of things going through my mind. I'm thinking, you know, what sort of reception am I going to get? I really didn't have a clue as to how that meeting was going to go. Hiya. You all right? I should imagine he's getting the dogs out the way. He put the dogs out back. Yeah. Oh. You all right to have a chat to you? See what's been going on whilst you've been away? Dogs ain't back.
Yeah.
isn't it? So what's been going on whilst you were away, Lee?
You know as much as me.
So who's been up to no good whilst you've been here? Your lad?
I don't know, there's a lot of people in the house, weren't it?
Were there?
Yeah.
So, the elephant in the room. As you probably know, there's a bit of a weed farm going on. Did you have anything to do with what was going on upstairs?
Nothing to...
No.
Nothing about it.
Well, that's what...
I was in prison, I was in prison.
Yeah. How come you got sent down?
Fighting.
Surprise, surprise, eh? You know, you can't let this happen, because at the end of the day, the tenancy's in your name. But the tenancy, the responsibility for this house is in your name. And if we're looking for somebody to bollock, if you like, or blame, or take responsibility, it falls to you.
Yeah.
So the benefit of the doubt was placed on you having nothing to do with it. And that's why it was agreed that you could move back. You know, don't let it happen again. When the question of should we let Lee move back into the house cropped up, my initial reaction was, can he always lie? And you sleep on things for a day or two, and he'd been with us a long time. We'd never had any problems with him. If he hadn't been away, maybe this would never have happened. So we're going to step up our inspections more frequently. Oh, I need you to keep your ship running tight. You know. So, ship shape, Bristol fashion, they said, aren't they? All right, like. Yeah. Okay, good enough.
But before Paul would confirm whether he's letting Lee stay, he wants to check the property.
Yeah, nobody under the bed, under the covers.
The attic is where he originally discovered the marijuana farm.
Oh, still quite a bit of stuff here. Lots of the old ducting still here. Remnants of the plants. Lots of cabling. Oh, that's what I can smell when you come up, because now the extractors aren't switched on and not working anymore. Stuff we can smell. Still smell it. My clothes will stink now. I thought it would be all fully cleared out, but I've still got some work to do. I was more disappointed than surprised. I thought he'd have done more cleaning up. Don't want any wrongdoings going on here, because it's just going to cause us problems, and we'll end up having to terminate your tenancy. So keep your nose clean.
As it's unclear who's responsible for the weed farm, the police take no further action.
See you later, Lee. Cheers, fella. Thanks.
Lee has agreed to pay the £4,000 rent arrears in instalments.
He's very much aware that at the end of the day, it's his responsibility, that house. And he needs to make sure there's no shenanigans going on inside.
A week ago, landlord JP Barakat served his tenant Daniel with a possession order. Owing over £7,000 in rent arrears, the court has ordered Daniel to leave the rental property within 48 hours. Before he moves out, JP wants to tackle Daniel over the missing rent.
For me, I needed to get the arrears, as my business was going down at that stage.
JP arrives and instantly spots him.
Daniel, have you decided when you're going to pay my arrears? I'm taking a piss. All I'd like to know is, when did you plan to pay my arrears? 6-month arrears and legal costs that you put me through. The aggravation.
JP and his wife bought this flat so their autistic 14-year-old son can live there when he's older. The missing rent has left them in serious financial hot water.
I mean, if anything was going to happen, it's going to happen. I was just desperate.
Don't come anywhere near me. Now you're taking the piss.
Sorry?
You're taking the fucking piss, Sean. Come closer, see what happens.
Can you clarify when you're going to pay my arrears?
You're taking the fucking piss. Now you're taking the fucking piss.
All I'm asking you is one question.
No, carry on. I know where you live.
Arrears.
I know exactly where you are as well. Carry on. Watch what happens. Now you fucked up. Watch what happens. Watch. You don't think people can come to your house as well? Watch.
Just received a text from the tenant. How you handle situation is untoward and unreasonable, as you have proven again today. You think you are the only one who can repeatedly pop up unannounced. JP, I will see you soon. I will return the favour. We shall see how you like it when we come to you. And he's quoted my address. All we're doing is just making a living, an honest living, and all of a sudden you're getting a threat on your life, literally. And your family's getting a threat and your child's getting a threat.
Hello?
Hello, Paul, it's JP.
JP calls eviction expert Paul Champlina for advice.
He crossed the line, really, as far as I'm concerned. He went really, really aggressive. Proper threats there, but, you know, my feeling on the matter is, you know, I don't want things to escalate, to get out of control.
No, I think you need to, for your safety, report that to the police, if you might need to have that logged. We need to make sure we stick to the plan. We need to make sure that we gain possession. You know, the main thing is I don't want you to feel intimidated, but also, more importantly, for you and your family, safety is most important.
Despite the threats, JP will return in 2 days to see if Daniel obeys the order and leaves.
He's threatening to send 4 or 5 people to our home. I know where you live, to hurt me and to hurt my son. I mean, it's just not. It's gone too far.
The Barricats tenant Daniel was due to leave their rental property 4 days ago, but so far he's refused and has even sent threats to the landlord.
He's completely unpredictable, and you just don't know what he's going to do. I think that's what it is. That's what's so scary today.
It was insinuated that the tenant was going to send some boys over.
Today, the pair are meeting eviction expert Paul Champlina at the flat.
He owes over £7,500 in rent arrears, plus legal fees. He's caused so much stress to the landlords.
Can you open your front door? When are they going to come? Is he going to come in a week's time, in a month's time, in a year's time? Is he going to let this go? It's always going to be in the back of my mind.
Because of his aggression, we prepared ourselves for the worst. We just felt that there was real threat there.
Angela, if you hold back a little bit, I just want to make sure that we don't have another altercation.
It was just all a complete blur. To be honest, I was truly terrified.
Here we go, here's the keys. There you go. That's a good sign, isn't it?
Yep. Oh, great.
Okay, that's good news. Hello? Congratulations, he's gone. You're welcome.
Let's get down for a minute. Oh, God. Right, okay.
You relieved?
Yes. I couldn't deal with a compensation. I just wanted to go on. It's such a relief that we didn't have to do a confrontation and that the tenant decided to leave. And now Jean-Pierre and I can actually turn the flat round, change the locks, and hopefully it will be a lovely home for somebody.
JP and Angela are now pursuing the £8,000 Daniel owes them in rent arrears and court costs.
Remember where she was living? Remember that was her little sofa that she slept on there?
Her little home on a dirty, horrible sofa.
2 weeks after regaining control of their trashed flat, landlord Steve and Stuart are in the middle of renovations.
Oh God, even though it's better, it still looks terrible, doesn't it?
Well, I thought we were going to be able to keep the tiles, but as I took the worktops off, everything just started popping off.
Yeah,
so every tile had to come off as well. I met her last week for the first time ever, and I wouldn't have said she looked a bad person by any means. But then all of a sudden she got irate because she asked for a handbag. I said no to start with because she can't get in the flat. You know, she's leaking, not now back in this flat. Then all of a sudden she starts shouting, wanting this, wanting that. And I just said to one of the lads, get her a handbag. Let's just get her out of our sight. And got her the handbag, and then she disappeared. The court fees, the loss of rent, the refurb, you know, we're in excess of 20,000, easy. £20,000 is a lot of money to lose to one person, technically just to smash your flat up. Okay, electric's on. At the moment, Steve, this is the only light that works in the bathroom. So I think she smashed all the bulbs. We've worked really hard we're 30 years now doing our building business. I've had 2 back operations, Steve's had a back operation. This is to help us when we retire.
This was the worst room, wasn't it?
I had to smash the bath out. We were thinking about selling, but it's not great out there for selling at the moment. So it's a case of getting it done, get it back on the market to relet for now. And hopefully we'll end up with all good tenants that can make us retire nicely.
She was by far the hardest tenant we've ever had and hopefully ever will meet.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah,
let's go. Come on.
Next time.
Please.
A dawn raid on an illegally overcrowded home.
Does anyone speak English in this room?
Oh, bloody hell. I don't really want to go in here.
A house clearance from hell.
Used incontinence pads.
Oh! And a squatter eviction turns ugly.
We've been here 5 seconds and they're throwing things out the window at us.